What's going on YouTube? It's your boy here, Chris Phoenix here, going to my WWE TLC 2011 pay-per-view review. As you guys know, last pay-per-view of the year 2011 for the World Wrestling Entertainment. And quite honest with you, it was actually a pretty good show overall. There wasn't really a match on this card that really, I could say, was like horrible. Like, it was like, oh man, it was like the worst match ever. You know, there were some lot of good moments here actually. Not great moments, but some good ones, and I'll get to a little of that later on. But first off, let's start it off with our first match of the night. We had the United States Championship match between Dolph Ziggler, the United States Champion, versus woo woo woo, you knew it, the woo woo kid, Zack Ryder. This match itself was actually very good. You know, it was actually pretty good. It was a good way to start off the show. I know a lot of people complain, oh yeah, well it's usually the United States title usually starts off the show. It's true, usually it is. Do I think that's fair? No, not always, but anyway, nonetheless, it did kick off the show. And again, a good match. And I know a lot of people give, you know, a lot of people like Zack Ryder here, and the people who don't like him, like, oh, he's overrated and stuff. This has to be honestly one of the better Zack Ryder matches he's had in a while. I don't think it's just so much of, you know, Dolph Ziggler helped him, but anyway, it was a good match. You know, Vicky in the middle of the match gets tossed out, so it's just, you know, of course we all know Vicky's the manager of Dolph, so she gets tossed off. Then we have Dolph and Zack going at it. Zack hits the Rough Rider. 1, 2, 3. Your winner and new United States Champion, Zack Ryder. Woo woo. So I guess now his show, he doesn't have to just say the Internet Champion. He actually say the United States Champion. But you know, I know some people like me, Dolph Ziggler. Well, I like Zack Ryder, but you know, Dolph Ziggler fans, you're probably saying, oh yeah, well, you know, he lost it, why you lose it? Guys, you know, this just means maybe it just opens up the possibility of, you know, possibly Dolph maybe winning at the Royal Rumble next month, who knows? And also to the fact that, to me, Dolph Ziggler doesn't need that title anymore. He had a nice, good, long run. He was the longest champion. He's had it since Capital Punishment until now. But, you know, he had a good, long run. You know, to me, he can hang in there in the main event. Just WWE just needs to, you know, create a good story here for him and not to mess up, and I think they'll do good. So, yeah, Zack Ryder, your new United States Champion. Next match of the night, believe it or not, was excuse me. Our next match was it was okay. Just checking. Next match of the night was actually a tag team match. Tag team player. We had a WWE Tag Team title match between Air Boom and Epico versus Epico and Primo. I know, one of those last-minute matches, but believe it or not, despite it being kind of one of those last-minute matches, the match itself was actually good. It was entertaining, and I know a lot of people don't know about Epico and Primo as a tag team, especially here in the YWC. But if you ever pay attention to superstars, you know, they can work as a tag team. And hey, they got the sexy Rosa Mendez as their manager, but nonetheless, these tag teams, they worked out pretty good with each other, and Air Boom ended up retaining the championship. But, you know, hopefully, you know, we can see this on, you know, like, I don't know, maybe like a rematch or something on Raw or SmackDown or something later down the road. And, you know, because to me, Epico and Primo, they're not too bad of a tag team. They got a manager, you know, they got matching tights, whatever, that's always good. And, you know, just the fact that they just work well, they got good chemistry with each other, it just works out pretty well. Next, we had the tables match between Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett. Or as Chase Oliver, 68, would say, his prediction, whoever won this match wins the Rumble. My God, I hope he's wrong about that, and I'll tell you later why. But anyway, so we had the match between Wade Barrett and Randy Orton. The match itself was good. It was a good tables match. The only problem I had with this match, it felt kind of short. And what I mean by that, the match was like, okay, I timed it and it was like 12 or 13 minutes, but reality, it felt like 6. I don't know why, it just felt short to me. But otherwise, these guys told a good story. You know, it looked like at times Randy Orton was about to go through the table. Now, here's the only problem I have with this match. The ending. Okay, Wade Barrett is about to fly. I don't know what he's about to do, like a freaking clothesline off the top rope or something. And then he literally just dives into the table, and Randy Orton basically covers it by going, alright, my turn, RKO. And just puts him right through the table. I didn't understand that. I was like, he dove into the freaking table. So yeah, Randy Orton wins. I guess it kind of makes sense. You know, Wade Barrett got his victory at Survivor Series. You know, excuse me, Wade Barrett got his victory at Survivor Series. Randy Orton got it tonight. So yeah, so Randy Orton beats Wade Barrett in the tables match. Yeah, but the match itself again wasn't too good. Then our next match, we had by the way, we had a backstage segment earlier with Booker T and Alicia Fox. Cody Rhodes tags from behind. Remember, Cody Rhodes and Booker T have a match later on. So yeah, we also had another match set up later in the night. Sheamus versus Jack Swagger. Seemed like one of those filler matches. So yeah, we had God, aka Triple H, versus Kevin Nash, and believe it or not, this match was not as bad as I thought it was. I know you're probably thinking, Chris, you probably hated this match. You trashed it on your prediction. I didn't necessarily trash it. I just said to myself, who cares? Because to me, I just didn't feel like I cared about this. Yes, it had build-up. Yes, it had this. But to me, I just sat there going, okay, you know, out of all of quote-unquote God's matches, do we really care about this? But anyway, these guys had their match, and believe it or not, this match wasn't bad. It actually was entertaining. Now, it wasn't like the greatest match of all time, of course, but again, it wasn't a bad match. So, nonetheless, I'm not really complaining. But you know, it had a few spots. You know, Kevin Nash falls off the top, goes through a table. Yes, there was a table in here, and then Triple H gets up there, gets a sledgehammer. He already whacked it, or that's how Kevin Nash fell off the ladder. And then he starts beating, and then right before he hits a pedigree on Kevin Nash, and then Kevin Nash does the click sign, and like, save me, Triple H, type of deal, and then Triple H is just like, you know, suck it, and then just whacks him in the head with the sledgehammer, 1, 2, 3. He went to Triple H, and then Kevin Nash leaves on a stretcher, and for all of you who are on Skype with me, you know I said this line. God killed Kevin Nash. Breaking news. So then we all of a sudden after that, we have our own little match. We have what match did I say? Oh, we had the Divas match, excuse me. We had Beth Phoenix versus Kelly Kelly. Yeah, another match that would just add randomly out of nowhere. But believe it or not, again, this was an alright match. This was actually a decent Divas match. And yes, they got more than 3 minutes. They got like 6 or 8. But it was a decent Divas match. There was, I believe, at one point I actually thought Kelly Kelly was gonna win. I was like, good lord, this Divas title reign has literally meant crap to Beth, huh? But no. You know, because it looked like Kelly's gonna do the roll up, you know, the ones that she did at Night of Champions and SummerSlam. Maybe she did that one, but Beth Phoenix, she doesn't hit her with the glam slam. She did like some flapjack thing going there, but she did pin Kelly and retain the title, so all was good, I guess you could say, in the Divas division for another day. So then we all have our little Sheamus versus Jack Swagger match. Not much to say here. It was just basically time filler type of deal. Match was decent though. You know, Sheamus wins by the bro kick on Swagger. So yeah, I guess Sheamus gets on pay-per-view and gets a win. There you go. So then we have the Intercontinental title match between Cody Rhodes and Booker T. The match itself wasn't too bad. Actually, it was decent, and I told you guys, I thought Booker T still had it, and to me, I still say it. He still has it. Also, earlier tonight, I almost forgot to mention that Booker T was trying to come out. Cody Rhodes attacked him, but the next time, you know, later on the night, Booker T came out, and you know, Cody Rhodes came out, and they had their match. Again, kind of short, but again, it did tell a story. It was good. It was entertaining. I thought Rhodes was gonna win from the crossroads. No, he hit him with that new kick, the finisher. I don't know what he calls it, but the kick that he jumps off the top rope, whatever, and hits it on Booker T. He wins. So. Yeah, nice, good victory for Cody Rhodes, and, you know, it was pretty good. So then we have the most interesting part that everyone's going to be talking about, or should I say everyone has been talking about. I'm sure they're going to talk about even more. We had Big Show versus Mark Henry in a chair match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this match wasn't the best welterweight title match. You know, it was okay. It was alright, Big Show hits the weapons of mass destruction on Mark Henry, which, you know, was a painful to Big Show because Mark Henry was doing damage, you know, on Big Show earlier in the night, or in the match, to say. And so Big Show wins, becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. And then the unthinkable happens. Mark Henry beats up Big Show. No, I'm just kidding, but seriously, that did happen. Mark Henry did beat up Big Show, and then you hear this. Dun 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 dun. That's right. Mr. Daniel Bryan comes out, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if you guys can look, but it says December 18th. It is not freaking WrestleMania. What the hell? So Daniel Bryan comes out there and cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase and pins Big Show. 1, 2, 3, your new World Heavyweight Champion, Mark Henry. So we have 2 new champions in a matter of world champions, I should add, in a freaking matter of about a minute and a half. Well, that threw me off. I don't say it was the most entertaining cash in. It was just interesting, kind of funny how he did it, interesting. And then he comes out and goes to Michael Cole's like, I told you I could do it, whatever. And then, he just goes into the crowd and everything, starts going crazy, and Big Show kind of just looks at him and then just walks off. Yeah, so Daniel Bryan's your new World Heavyweight Champion. Before anyone says, oh, what are your thoughts on it? I guess, we'll see what happens, but quite honestly, I don't expect it to be a long run. I'm sorry. I know I want him to have a long run. I don't know about WWE's booking on him, but anyway, last but not least, we had the WWE title match, TLC, of course, tables, ladders, and chairs, and live. We had CM Punk, the defending champion, versus The Miz versus Alberto Del Rio. Triple threat TLC match, like I said, and the match itself, pretty good, I think. I thought it was a pretty good main event. You had guys like Ricardo Rodriguez. Ricardo Rodriguez is if Ricardo Rodriguez is not the definition of a joke, I don't know what is. The guy freaking wasn't even in the match, and he still fell off a fucking ladder and just landed on the freaking through the table. And then Punk hits the GTS on Miz. Punk goes up there, grabs, and by the way, Punk was already, forgot to mention, he was handcuffed, so he already has one of his handcuffs on his arm, and then he's trying to get in the title. He gets the championship and retains the WWE championship. So Punk is still your WWE champion, and overall, again, a decent, pretty good pay-per-view. Nothing, not any huge ass match. I guess you could say a 5-star match. I guess you could say, but it did what it needed to do. It was alright. It was decent. It was a decent show. And above all, that's it for me. You guys want to give your thoughts? Feel free to comment down below. Get your responses if you want. And yeah, Daniel Bryan. It's still not freaking Christmas. All right. And wait, Christmas is next week. Excuse me. It's still not freaking WrestleMania. And you cashed it in. You liar! I'm going heel now. No, I'm joking. All right. Peace.